yourself and hey, but you're going to college next year.
Yeah.
It's gonna become a little bit
A
more
very big
different and
thing, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So what do you anticipate, or how much have you experienced this around yourself so far, and
A
what do you
lot.
anticipate what
I
can come in?
I feel like I definitely, like, am anticipating it more, and, like, the further we get into, like, society, like, the more that, like, the years go on, like, obviously 2023 versus, like, 2000. Like, the whole, like, talk of, like, LGBTQ is such a, like, different, it's so much more now, like, people normalize it so much now, and so, like, I feel like I'm anticipating it to get a lot, like, more. I guess people are gonna normalize it a lot more in, like, the next 4 years that I'm in college and, like, so on, inshallah, and stuff like that. But, like, I feel like people are gonna normalize it a lot more, and, like, I need to start, like, I don't know, like, I feel like talking about it and, like, in my mind, just not making sure it's a normal thing, and, like, me right now, like, in high school, I was in theater, so, like, a lot of the kids in theater are, like, part of that community, like, part of, like, the LGBTQ community and stuff, so I definitely saw it, like, a lot more than, like, a lot of my other friends who weren't, like, in that and stuff, and, like, I will say, like, and that, like you said about the whole, like, sensitivity thing, like, I feel like it's grown to the point where, like, it's so extreme now that, like, even talking about it, like, even discussing, like, a little bit of something, like, even if you say, like, "Oh, I don't agree with the way that you do this," people will get so annoyed and, like, so mad. And so I feel like that's why so many people are, like, silencing themselves and, like, not sharing, like, they disagree with this and stuff like that. Like you said, like, there's so many people in the world who, like, are against it, who I didn't even know were against it. Because, like, they're not talking about it and they're not speaking up, they're not saying the things that they believe because they know they're gonna get shut down, they're gonna get shunned from society, they're gonna be, like, canceled or whatever that is, you know? So, like, a lot of, like, yeah, it has to deal with the people who are, like, normalizing it, and, like, in school, this becomes such a big thing, like, they'll have, like, the pride flag in the hallways, and, like, they'll have certain clubs about it, and they'll have, like, in school, they're teaching you about it and stuff like that, and, like, you feel like if you say something against it, it's just, like, completely wrong. So I feel like, moving on into the future, like, not only myself, like, everybody around me, like, I should be more, like, firm on my beliefs, I guess, instead of hiding away and, like, being like, "Oh," like, if someone starts talking about, like, LGBTQ, I'm just, like, silent and, like, sitting in the corner, like, I feel like I shouldn't do that as much, especially in college, because like, this is, like, the real deal, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be tough, but I think we need to speak up about it, because the more we are quiet, the more they're gaining power.
exactly.
And I mean, they're allowed to live their lives the way they want to, but the
Yeah,
way it's influencing every age.
mhm,
It's not it's not when you're after 18 you find out about these things. It's like
exactly.
5-year-olds are
I
finding
know,
out.
it's, like, in TV shows for, like, little kids and stuff, like, it's
Yeah,
everywhere.
and there are books about it.
Yeah,
There are books about introducing sexuality,
mhm,
sexual orientations at a very young age, like in kindergarten.
yeah,
It's going crazy, and it's gonna get worse if we don't speak
mhm,
up, if we don't talk about it. Then of course they're gaining power already.
exactly.
I feel like at this day and age, it feels odd to be straight.
Yeah,
So
exactly, like, you feel like you're doing something wrong.
yes.
'Cause people are like, "Oh, like, you're straight," like, "Oh, that's, like, such a
Yeah.
bad thing."
That's
Like,
how
what?
it's been like forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, subhanallah. So, do you see our Muslim youth being influenced by this? And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, go ahead, share
Like,
some of
I
that.
am so, like, the fact that I'm saying, I'm saying, like, "Oh, yeah, it's such a bad thing," like, I feel
Yeah.
like, you'd be shocked, be like, "Oh, really? Like, Muslim youth is, like, being affected by this?" But I'm like, "No, yeah, they are." Like, so many of my friends, like, so many people that have, like, in my life who have been like, "Yeah, like, I think I'm gay," or something like that, when they're, like, Muslim and, like, wearing the hijab and, like, reading Quran and stuff, and I'm like, "Really? Like, are you sure?" Like, I don't know, I feel like even talking about it now, like, I feel like I can't, but, like, I'm gonna let myself because, like, it's something that should be said and stuff.
Yes.
Like, the thing is, like, people, again, like, they get offended and stuff, but, like, even if I'm saying, like, "Oh, I don't agree with the way that you're doing this," "Oh, I don't agree, like, I'm Muslim and, like, I feel like we shouldn't be doing this type of thing," like, you can still live your life, like, do what you want to, but, like, don't influence other people to, like, do it too, you know? And, like, other Muslims, like the thing about like if you're saying it to another Muslim and they're like they feel themselves like as like gay or something, that's this type of thing that it's like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this situation. Like I don't know what to say to them. That's not gonna like push them away from even further from Islam.
Right.
Yeah. So it's hard.
Yes. Do you think it is because of the exposure, maybe social
Yeah.
media or
I
something?
definitely think like just like living in this like going to school with these people and like talking to them online and like having people who are advocating for this online is what's
Mhm.
making them think it's okay in their heads.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you're not having those feelings, you kind of like get into, this is something interesting, maybe I
Mhm.
should try.
Exactly,
Maybe
like
there's a
curiosity
way.
sort of.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah.
sort of gaslighting yourself into thinking that you are this